Okay, welcome back to the Forest of Adrimon, the separation of the cards, video 2, to make sense of it all. So we have this set that we can safely use for Forest of Adrimon, the board game. I'm pretty sure it will all be figured out in how it works in the book, but I'm not ready for the book yet, and I don't think anyone is. Well, most of the people are not. So here you have the art lesson, the Artful Part 2. I'm going to put it a little bit here. And these texts are what makes it handy to separate them and sort them. I don't care particularly for the art, but I like the icons to be not so blunt in your face. So this is a little more modern, if you will. These old specs, yeah, they are really so 1990, to put it mildly. Nothing, no discrepancies so far. And they also got rid of the exclamation marks, and the icon system was already in place. I never noticed it. So I think you should, when you receive it, you should perform the same check, that you can verify that there are no cards missing, because this is what the official game had, assuming that you are interested in playing Forest of Adrimon, the board game. So they can safely be put in the carrying case, because I'm not going to need them anymore. I'm going to stick with this and this, and they come together because why not? And this will be the Artful complete set of power-ups. So that is one. And what is this? Yeah, okay, so this is the cards with, they have the same base game icon, as you can see here. It is core box content, but it is not core box content, because these storybook, not even the storybook has them. They are, if you have the expansion, then you can check for things like this. And they have then enemy stats, but aggressive thicket, wood nymph, and forest drake and grovelings. Great elk, venomenter, tiger lily, snapdragon, shroom, marmotook. All this stuff is not in the storybook. So this is in contrast to what you would, what the icon says. It is photo only. So how do you recognize this? Well, we have enemy stats levels from 1 to 5, and they are mentioned in page 21 to 23. And I never figured out the stupid Owlbear because it is not a part of this, but the cards are mentioned in the book. So that's 20 of those cards. You can simply verify this, and they only play a role in the forest of the Fall of the Ancients, but you could mix them in with because they are all encounters. And what is an encounter? Encounter is a special kind of circumstance card in the board game and in the book with enemy stats. So not afflictions or treasures or stuff like that. This is actually unusable for now. Then I was working with well, what was, let's see. Oh yeah, here is boons, or some weird stuff that is called, as you can see for the icon, it is a encounter deck content. But these are encounters. There are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cards, and they are distinguishable by boon. So 3, 4, 5 boons, and yes, they are all positive, but yeah, they are called encounter deck content, so you put them somewhere in the encounter deck, but I don't think you can use them in. Yeah, you could use them in the base game, but that would complicate things, because let's talk about the circumstances in the base game then for a while. There is the alternate table in storybook 36, right? And this is what I'm going to use because it's more thematic. This table with the epic table in the bottom right. And I curated this table so it only has base game content, because all these things are expansions, so you cannot roll them. And those cards. So this is for the forest deck, and then originally I had if you separate it out and do it properly, then you have 7 cards that go into the forest deck. These 3 things are artless, but they have no because the creators just didn't think of it, yeah, it's so thoughtless. But they didn't make the card backs identical, so they should have made these cards also with this back. But these cards, the enemy cards, they have their artful representation. Now, if you roll for that table in page 36, then the name of the card is specified, so it doesn't really matter if the cards are which of the 2 backs they have, but still it's unsightly, if you will. But you have those cards and you can use them. The instruction is a little different here, how they wanted to fix it, the mess up with the backs. And there are 3 choices, and the idea is that you use the uniformly shuffled circumstances in 1 set, and 1 and 2 slots are for the new art form. So you have the the full deck on the first slot, and then on the second slot is the next drawn face-up card. And you roll a d6 to decide which of the two sources you use to resolve your circumstance from. So half of the, yeah, 1/3 of the time it would be an encounter of the new set. That's more or less how the combination of Valley of the Dead King and the Forest of Adrimon is described in combining these things. I'm not really sure which of the two. That would be the rule book. There's this entire section of play styles. Yeah, the dual board thing. That's just in the rulebook, so it's free to download. So that is the circumstances. Yeah, and some of the cards are, of course, Valley of the Dead King circumstances. I cannot use these because if you would mix them in, then you would have a lot of goblins and black and white art also, but yeah, you could, for variation, draw one of two or two of those cards in to spice up your FOA circumstance deck. But yeah, I have them at my disposal, so I could use them. So that is all. Then we have, let's see, we have covered everything except these two. So this is the living card game. There are 4 cards provided, and these are the 4 active enemies, if you will. The rest of the cards in the LCG are non-enemy cards. They are more like quests and such. So you could use this to provide a stand-in for the cards. Yeah,